Well, so now, Donnell is still missing. Rich has these 30 kilos. He calls Alpo to help him move some of the weight. And then on January 3rd, 1990, Rich gets into a van with Alpo and Alpo's man, Big Head Gary. Based on testimony and so forth that came later, Alpo asked Rich about $300,000 of cocaine and felt that Rich was lying to him. So he told Big Head Gary to shoot Rich. Alpo shot him as well, and they ended up dumping the body in the woods. How long after this happened did you realize that your brother Rich was missing?
I had spoke to him that night because this day was like the first time I came outside since I had been at my mother's house. It was really nice this day. It was really nice. And I came out, I went with my uncle, my aunt, and a friend. We went to Jackson Hole's. When I came outside, Richard and Orland was on the corner. It was a huddle of guys. They was laughing, joking, having fun like they did. Everybody's a jokester. And came back, went in the house. They weren't there. They were gone. And like 1-something in the morning, detectives came to our house telling my mother that they found the body of her son. And she's screaming and crying. She thinking that they finally found Donnell because we was thinking he got kidnapped December 5th. We kept praying and hoping that by Christmas that they would have said, well, you ain't getting it. They ain't send him home. Never. I said, Mom, they gonna send him home for Christmas. By the New Year, nothing. So by January 3rd, going into the 4th, when the detectives came, we honestly thought that they were there to tell us about finding Donnell. And I guess maybe the way my mom was screaming Donnell or whatever she was saying, they was looking like lost. Like, do you have a son named Richard Francis? And she was like, no, my son's name is, now the license he must have said Richard Francis. So she's like, no, whatever. Well, they telling her that they believe that the body that was found was of her son, Richard Porter. They saying Francis, but they putting it together like if, and then now they know that it's a case open because they didn't really, these guys were from the Bronx. The case is open with the feds and with whoever, but it's at the 32nd precinct. So they probably, I don't know whether they have a connection to know what's going on, but they had no clue until the other people got involved to discuss. We telling them, we looking for our little brother, da-da-da. They probably speak to the investigation that's going on, the people, the leader of the investigation, and they tell them, and then we found out that it was Richard, but it wasn't even a 24-hour before we found out it was Richard.
When you heard that your brother Richard Porter is dead,
lost, done, over, crushed, broken, like even in the same sense, thinking his death would have still brought Donnell home now. Now that they know they can't get no money, send my little brother home.
Yeah.
I still had belief in that. In his death. I didn't even really sanction to mourn it at the time. I'm just really hoping that these people just send Donnell home now. You done took my brother. Please don't take Donnell.